Welcome back to another fabulous speed build here on my channel. I'm Jacob from JacobisHere. In case you're brand new, we build, we play Sims, we play all sorts of Sims games, and I also have several other YouTube channels. I'll link them all down below where I play a bunch of other different games, and like I watch movies and I talk about books. I do a lot on YouTube. Honestly, like one would say I probably have too many channels, but either way, today we're building a ranch. And this ranch was made because of Horse Ranch, obviously coming out in July. I actually personally haven't really played with the pack gameplay wise. The only thing that really truly interests me is like nectar making. The horses themselves, I got stuck with a foal, which was not necessarily bad, but they're kind of boring, and it kind of just made the entire experience not the best for me, at least with this pack initially. So that's kind of where I have been sitting. I did build this ranch in order to play with horse pack, horse ranch and stuff. The idea was I wanted my Sims to kind of own a ranch, but have like everything on it. So we would have bees, we would have, I don't know why I first jumped to bees in my brain, but we would have bees, we would have chickens, we would have goats and sheep, and we would also have cows and a llama, and then we'd also have plants, and we would do the whole 9 yards. We have a horse, we would have a dog, a cat. Like, I wanted to be so overwhelmed by animals that like it was almost not fun to play. And the issue that I actually had was the exact opposite, where it was almost like too boring. So I got bored. I didn't get stressed out. I got bored. This was my Hatfield Legacy. This is my legacy challenge right here on YouTube. We're on like Gen 11 or 12. And so I will definitely continue playing with this family. I don't know. I don't think I'll branch off into somebody else or anything like that. And here's the thing, that the little girl that they have, originally she's going to be a witch, and then I changed it to be a horse ranch person. And so this is kind of what she wants to do. I just don't know if she'll stay at the family farm. I think she'll eventually just move out and do her own thing. I really just kind of wanting to play with a single sim for a long time now. So I think we might play some Sims on Twitch to get me to a point of where I'm with a single sim. Or I might just start a new legacy or like a new like family for like a week or two and just like play my heart's content with them, and then move them into like a save that I already play in. For instance, fun facts, if you follow me over on Twitch, you totally should, where I'm back to streaming. I officially start like streaming every day. I think it's next week, because like this week I'm still trying to figure out things, setting my schedule back together and things like that. I think it's next week. We are daily uploading though currently at the moment over on my VOD channel, and we're doing every other day on almost all my other YouTube channels except for Week in Movie Bros. Week in Movie Bros is more like selective. It's like if there's content to post that day, we'll post the content, but if there's not, it's not a big deal. So yeah. But everybody else is getting like, it's like I'm trying to get like every other day, every 2 days worth of stuff that includes you guys and BookTube and things like that. But with that being said, I think that might be something that I might do on my own, like free will in time, and maybe try playing with horses or something along those lines that way, and then go from there. Because like one of my favorite things to do is to play with a single sim and then come back in and add them into like already like very much extended family like save, which is like really, really fun and really, really exciting in my opinion. So a problem I had with this lot, jumping back to the lot, is one of the biggest issues I ended up having was the paint. So I really liked how the paint turned out initially. Like this initial draft, it's not the same. I will tell you that much. It's very much not the same. So the issue that I ended up having with this is that it all got deleted as soon as I saved, or my game crashed at some point as well. Whatever the case might be, it got rid of the entire thing. Also, some other key components here that I knew I needed to have. I actually have like a list, so we can run through the list, and I will say I think I did mark everything off. So the different, like I said, I wanted a list of things. I wanted a hamster, that type of thing, okay? So I definitely knew that I needed some type of barn. I never had a barn before, and so that was really, really looking forward to me. I also know I needed some type of garden, and I wanted a bigger garden like this that I ended up building, which I really do like. And then I knew the house needed to be at least a 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1 story, and probably about, or one study and about a 2 story home. Because here's the thing, if we talk about our Sims, because I did build this specifically for Sims and things like that, we talk about the Sims involved here. The dad, he is someone from high school years, Cooperdale. I can't remember. He's Jaden Pierce, I'm pretty sure is what the name is for that one. They both went to college. He ended up going to college for science, because if you guys did not know, in The Sims 4, science degrees actually are for like weightlifting and bodybuilding and things like that. And so he wanted to become a bodybuilder, but it also means that he has like a whole variety of different things he could do. So there's like a marine biologist. He could also become somebody that had to like work with plants or animals or whatever, or like a lot of other things, biology like tackles. But one of those things was that he was at the top of his career and he was doing the best, the damnedest, okay? And he quit his job to move out to this ranch. And so I knew I wanted a workout room, which we eventually do get, because I only have one kid at the moment. I don't know how many kids they'll have. So I kind of used some of the extra rooms that were kind of becoming more complacent as we go through and we start building throughout the house and stuff. I'll take a second. I did totally cut out all of the like trying to figure out floor plans for all the buildings and stuff, because it took too long and you guys didn't need to see it. But with that being said, I knew I wanted like some type of gym because he loves working out, and I figured it'd be a good thing to have. The mom, Daniela, who is actually a part of the legacy, she is whatever the heir is of this generation, and she went to school for writing. She's a freelance writer, but she also writes exclusively, I'm pretty sure it's children's books. Is she children's book? She might exclusively be romance books. I can't remember. I have 2 writers right now that I'm playing with in different like households, and so I always get them confused. So she's either like a direct like romance writer or a direct like kid writer, a children's book writer. And so I definitely knew I needed to study. Then they have like one daughter. She, I think, is an infant, or maybe a toddler, an infant or a toddler. I didn't know, it's definitely an infant. I also wanted a laundry room because I was trying to put as many struggles in here as possible, because they both are basically just like at-home workers. They're always on the farm. They're always going to be home, and so I just knew that anything that I decide would probably have been fine, and it turned out just be fine. Okay, the next thing we're going to be working on, we're moving into the barn now. And I really liked how the barn turned out. So the bottom part of the barn is the pens. So one of the things I cut out was me trying to figure out how to get like one of the bigger barns for a cow and llama in. And I eventually got a mod. The mod, I think, is broken, so it didn't work. And so I think also like a slightly disappointing aspect of it as well. And so I'm looking for another mod where cows and stuff don't have to be inside their coop, that I can figure something else out. Is kind of the goal. And then the up part is the actual nectar making. So all you need for the nectar is some like wine racks, and there's a few wine racks in the house, and there's a few wine racks out here. I think there's like 40 altogether or something like that. And then you just need the thing to make the nectar in. And you can continue buying like cheap berries or whatever. You can like, do it. You can grow them. And so we had the nectar making station. Now we're going to do like the painting of all the outside and stuff. I left all that in. I liked all the colors. I liked a lot of the stuff that came with this pack. I used a bunch of it to try to get as much of it out there as possible so we can experience it all together as much as possible. And I thought almost everything from Horse Ranch was gorgeous, and I was really blown away. If you guys want to see my like initial reaction, I'll link it in the cards. I have a whole live stream that's full of chapter time, so you can jump around to like whatever section you want and actually know my opinion about. Like, it's very thorough set of chapter times for that one. And for most of my live streams or anything where I have like complicated videos, I try to do as thorough chapter times as possible, because I know like when I watch things, there's like certain people, like if I'm just like a major builder, I'm gonna want to know more about like the building opinion of them over like what their opinion is when it comes to like cast or whatever. And so I know for a fact I love a good chapter time selection, and so I made sure I grabbed some. For the kitchen, it was pretty much the same. I pretty much kept it pretty handy. We're going to be jumping around a lot, I'm sorry. I just, when you go through the catalog and you're like, oh, that looks cute, we'll put that there. Well, that looks cute, I'll put that there. And that's kind of what this house turned into. I try to get rid of a lot of the jumping around, but it didn't seem like it worked. The kitchen is very country-esque. They don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, I'm not going to lie. They order a lot of food. It's just, they're just not cooks. They're not chefs. They never were chefs. They lived in a very big apartment, and that, like, played a big factor in things. So, yeah. One of my favorite aspects of this house is actually something we're about to figure out. I had to go searching for it. I'm sure I'll find it here relatively soon. And that is that this pack comes with grapevines. I think it's this pack that comes with it in Debug. And the grapevines look like this. And it fits so well. I don't think they're accessible. I don't think you can actually get grapes from them or anything like that. But I think it works so well. I think it'll be great for building like a vineyard or something along those lines. So I absolutely adore that. For the inside, once again, I already laid out pretty much the floor plan. So the downstairs is broken up into a few different rooms of we're jumping around a lot. Oh, this is chaotic and my brain hurts. That's okay though. So essentially, like I said, I guess we moved from the downstairs. I'll go back and I'll talk about it when we get back there. We're doing the outside at the moment. We're putting down the pool. I definitely knew I wanted a pool. I wanted a chicken coop out here, and I wanted a pool. Those are two things I definitely wanted. And I also very much wanted a swing set and that type of thing for the kids. Not going to lie, this little yard right here actually ended up being really hard to kind of plan out because I put too many gates. And by the time you get so far into a build, you're changing so many different like little things here or there, things I've cut out or whatever, it's actually really hard to change like bigger things such as like where you place gates, because each gate, as you guys can tell, goes into like their own like little system and things. It's very complicated, and so I had to work with the space that I got, which wasn't like a lot of space, but it was a fine amount of space. Also the barn has like a little greenhouse that I ended up furnishing as well with some plants and stuff that are very usable in different seasons, and then I ended up planting a bunch of stuff out in the actual like other area as well. But I really like the greenhouse. I love adding a little greenhouse. Greenhouses are so useful if your sim is a gardener at all. So I highly recommend like extending your house and putting one on your house or something of those lines. I put a greenhouse anywhere I can stick one. It doesn't even have to be like its own designated space. Because originally it was going to be its own designated space behind the house, and I just like that's way too complicated, so I stopped. Alright, now we're back in the house, so let me talk about the downstairs. So downstairs broken up into 3 rooms? 4 rooms? 3 rooms. We have the kitchen, which we already went through. We have the dining room, which is basically just like an extension onto the living room. And then we have the living room. And then also another extension, I think, onto the living room is, the office, which we'll do last. And I really liked how almost the entire downstairs, I always find, to be honest with you, the downstairs to be the most coziest place in the house, and I want to live everywhere with it, okay? That's just how almost all my builds go. The downstairs is always my favorite aspect. And this was definitely true to this build as well. I love when my Sims hang out downstairs. When they go upstairs, I get a little sad because I'm just like, it's just not as cool. It's just not as fun. And it's normally because I spend so much time working on the downstairs, I spend so much time working on the outside of the house, that by the time I actually make my way up to the upstairs part of the home, I'm a little tired and over furnishing. And that should probably mean I should take a break. And this did take me like 4 or 5 days to do, but I was still pretty much done. So this section over here, if we go back to it, eventually we will. I found new items and putting them in places I want to put them. But this section over here is actually where the dining room is. Like I said, it's very much connected to the other space. The other space is like kind of like an infant area. They have an infant, so I had to make sure I add things for the infant. Oh, there's also a laundry room. I forgot about the laundry room, and obviously a downstairs bathroom. And so, like, they're all, like, kind of a little bit connected. I've learned from playing with infants downstairs in the carrier where you can put it in your inventory and stuff. I personally really learned, you're going to hear the dog bark, my mom just got home, but I personally learned that if it's near the TV, the infant's going to cry the whole time. It's not worth it. And so I'm always really tentative to put one downstairs. I did put, like, one of the things you put the rocker thingy in. And I think it turned out nice. There's nothing like objectively wrong with it or anything like that. But I'd be scared to put my infant in there just because they sometimes don't like it. I think this room upstairs, it's all the bedrooms. So all the bedrooms in the extra room. So upstairs, I definitely knew I wanted two particular rooms. I wanted a guest bedroom and I wanted a master bedroom. I wanted an infant room, and then once again we have one extra bedroom which I turned into his like. We may have had like two extra bedrooms. I actually don't really remember, but we had at least one extra bedroom, and I turned that into like the home gym. The master bedroom is a master because it has a walk-in closet connected to a walk-in like bathroom, which I thought turned out really pretty. And I don't do things like this very often, so I was happy. These are definitely Sims that would have it as well, for sure. You should have seen their old home. I actually have a speed build. Maybe I'll link it as well. Ooh, it might be buffering. I'm sorry. Then I'm trying to think of like other things that are of importance for the master. I use a lot of the Book Nook kit. I use a bunch of packs in here. But I do have a rule. Like, if I'm building for you guys, just doing a build for you guys, I have a few of those coming up. They're not going to be so pack-oriented. But if I'm building for myself, they're more pack-oriented just because it's for myself. Oh, upstairs also has a bunch of upstairs space. And so I would actually recommend, if you download this house, it is up on the gallery, I would actually recommend going and making that space your own. So like for me, I personally want more records. That was like a big thing I realized when doing this. I love like more records, more musical type of things. And so like now I guess I want a music pack. Didn't realize I did until today, but I did. So there's like a piano up there. There's the hamster. There's like a card table. There's a reading nook, one of many. I just can't stop building them, I'm going to be honest with you. Oh my gosh, I should cut that whole entire section out. Jesus Christ. Oh, I broke the bedrooms down to two sections. That's right. And so since I broke the bedrooms down to two sections, one of those, I think it's converted. Because I didn't need it? I can't remember, to be honest with you. I'm excited to find out because I really can't remember. But either way, so that's like the house. It's been a long time since I played with this family. This was built in the middle of July, like relatively soon after the pack came out. It was like one of the first things I did was build. And so, yeah, okay, let's talk about Twitch for a second. So over on Twitch, we have a family called the Robinsons. They're relatively fresh. And I decided to do something that I've done many times before with many other families. And that is, if I'm struggling like with the family, I tend to add my favorite Sims into that house, into like that family like dynamic, and then build off from there or make them marry into whatever. And so I had two other families that I got pretty far into generations with. We had the Billings, which is no longer documented on anything, so they're just for me to enjoy in my brain. We had the Buildings, which like I said, I just love them. Then we also have the O'Neills, which got really, really popular. If you follow my VOD channel, it has like 4,000 or 5,000 views the first the opening of their thing, which is pretty crazy, to be honest with you. And that's still like YouTube still pushes it quite a bit. And so I have a feeling we'll probably move into both those families at some point. The O'Neills and the Billings. They'll be connected at some point. Okay, so this back room got turned into the little gym area. I would say I really wish I could put a rock climbing wall in here. It's like the only thing that I truly do miss. And I love how the office turned out. The office is very similar to other offices I've done for this family just because like it's an office. But yeah, also there's bathrooms. I don't really think they're that important, but there are bathrooms. And I had a lot of fun making the bathroom, even if I didn't think it was that absolutely important. I tend to try to just mimic the same bathroom over and over again. We're putting down some final touches, and then we're gonna finish off the outdoor patio and stuff to close out. But yeah, so we're gonna be working with that family. Those are being uploaded as well on a constant on my VOD channel. So if you guys want to catch up or just jump in, doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. And then we're also going to be playing some God of War Ragnarok. That's what we're going to get going either today or tomorrow. I'm really excited to jump back into that game. It's a pretty phenomenal game, and I'm really looking forward to playing it again. And you guys will eventually see it on the VOD channel. We have to go through Jedi Survivor. So if you guys are interested in me playing Jedi Survivor or interested in that game whatsoever, it's actually pretty good. We're going to be doing something with it here relatively soon. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the hot tub in the back. But a weird little addition. I try to put so many different things in the yard, so many different things that I think my Sims kids would want to do. The only thing we don't have room for is a treehouse, but the space where there's like a fake like water tower or whatever, I think a treehouse could probably go there. I think I could probably fit one in. And so I put this thing in, and I really liked it. I really liked how it turned out. I'm not gonna lie to you. And overall, that is the house. This is, we're coming up to the very tail end of things. There is no tour, so this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, I talked about interesting things. I don't know. You could have muted me. I don't care. And if you guys want the house, once again, it is up on the gallery. And I'll talk to you guys on next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.